What do you have exactly 3 of? What's the dumbest conspiracy theory that people believe? What is the worst thing about being skinny? It's so easy to hit your pelvic bone on the side into things, and it hurts so much. I'm having a phantom hip bone pain just reading this. Sounds like it isn't that great being born with paper skin and glass bones. People noticing every fluctuation in weight. That's just awful for anybody, I think. Lap isn't as comfy for dog to sit on. Okay, this is the saddest. Finding pants that fit. Is that a problem? I didn't really imagine that would be one. Going to an amusement park and realizing that no one else thinks the seats on the rides are too hard. I was in pain. Sometimes even just sitting hurts because there's not enough fat to cushion the bones and they press directly on the nerves. You cannot do a very splashy cannonball into the pool. People telling me that I look hungry. People assuming you have an eating disorder. I can see this going both ways. Either it's nice that they at least tried to notice, and also bad if they bring it up in a jokey way because, like, come on, dude. Pants never stay up. Belt. Moral of the story on this one, if you see someone who's a little bit too skinny or a little bit overweight, don't comment on it at all because it could be triggering. Thanks. Who's the worst comedian that became famous? Andy Dick. I feel like Andy Dick was the kid who everyone thought was weird, so he started doing things for shock value, and he finally got some attention, so he kept doing it. The entire premise of this humor is that you don't know what's real and what's a show, and now it's his entire personality and can't even stop himself. James Corden. Definitely not a comedian. It's true and you should say it. Prepare for the arrival of 9,000 Amy Schumers. Any Schumer. Reddit's hatred of Amy Schumer. I wanted a bunch of downvotes today anyway. She has great bits, like helping her mom with computer problems or the whole 12 Angry Men parody she did. Worst comedian? Worse than Mencia or the racist puppet guy? Check yourself, Reddit. She might not be as bad as Jeff Dunham or Carlos Mencia, but she is a huge plagiarist and still hasn't changed, so like, Jeff Dunham. When I was younger, I kinda liked Jeff Dunham, but now thinking back, I think it was mostly just, oh, puppet said the F word, ha ha ha. Steve Harvey. How that man is famous is absolutely beyond me. Potentially hot take here, I really hate Steve Harvey, and I think he's really going for like a new Cosby thing, hopefully without the drugs. It's a tie between Carlos Mencia and Dane Cook. Nah, Dane Cook is bad, but not Carlos Mencia level of bad. Rebel Wilson. All of her humor is either crass body/poop humor or just being mean and terrible. She's also incredibly rude to her crew and an absolute terror on set. I know I'm gonna get downvoted into oblivion. I scrolled through hella comments and couldn't find a single mention, but Kevin Hart is so unfunny, but he's one of the most famous comedians for no reason. His little man/loudmouth shtick got old quick. I don't think I've ever heard any of Kevin Hart's stand-up, but he is good in movies, so I don't know. What's something that happened in your country that would scare Americans? I don't know any Americans really, but people seem concerned when I mention that we occasionally have baboons invading our houses and full-on social media groups dedicated to alerting people so we can lock up and bring animals inside before it happens. Granted, you have to live in an area where there is a troop of baboons for this to happen, but still, edit, I'm sure this isn't unusual in rural American areas, though with other animals, but still. Also, load shedding. Load shedding? I've never heard of that. Load shedding. In South Africa, we can have up to 14 hours a day without power. They are planned outages. This is due to the corruption and lack of maintenance to the infrastructure. We even have an app to let us know when to expect our electricity to be stolen. Oh, well, like, instant gratification, now I know. Kenya, lions frequent the villages at night. Hyenas actually take small kids away at night. That's kind of horrifying. Spiders the size of your palm just casually chilling on the wall every summer. I normally just let them be. They are active at night and will get about your house. They move surprisingly fast for their size also, and suddenly vanish. They also get in your car and shoes. Sounds like that only happens in a made-up country. Public execution. Not in the whole country, just in my neighborhood for some reason. Oh, that's cool. Great. Babies, sometimes smaller children, sleeping outside in their buggy by themselves year-round. Babies seem to sleep real well on the balcony when it's -10°C and snowing. I don't know where you are, but don't do that. In my country, Uganda, the army kidnaps people and it has become so normal. The cars they use were nicknamed drones because if it kidnaps you, it disappears at lightning speed. They are always numberless, so intrackable. They do this in broad daylight, and when they arrest someone someone like that, you are sure that even if you go to any police precinct or army barracks, they won't have him because officially you are not arrested anywhere. That's kind of terrifying. Sitting in a hot room naked with strangers and your buddies. Sauna, Finland, perkele. Today, I casually remarked to an American that a huntsman spider the size of a dinner plate once made its way into my house, and that this wouldn't be completely out of the ordinary where I'm from. He seemed pretty horrified at that, and was more horrified still when I remarked that I kept the huntsman spider around, and named him Robert, because he could eat the more poisonous spiders that might cause skin necrosis if they bite you. Anyway, yeah, come to Australia. It's fun. This must be some kind of inside joke, because people keep saying come to Australia, but if you look at a map, it's not there. Who is praised as a good person in human history, but was actually evil? Charles Dickens dumped his wife of 10 kids in 22 years for an 18-year-old mistress. When she called him out on it, he publicly called her a fat idiot. Pablo Picasso. He was a complete jerk, and his kids were terrified of him. He would beat his girlfriends and draw them while they cried. Cue Reddit going off on Mother Teresa. Is she bad? I don't know enough about her. Thomas Edison. He killed Topsy. They say, "Aw, Topsy," at my autopsy, but no one will be more shocked than me. Edison was a douche. I'm pretty sure he stole the idea for the light bulb from some guy in England, but I mean, that's just what Americans do. Chaplin. Was he a bad guy? I haven't heard much about him, and I haven't heard much from him either. Get it? Because he was in silent film, so okay. You can double anything. What do you choose? My chances of winning anything. I am then going to Vegas and betting on red. Sure, there's a possibility of losing money on zero, but 97% chance of winning is basically an ability to print money. Any deposit made to my bank account, then all you have to do is withdraw and deposit like 10 times and you rich. My IQ. I don't even think IQ means anything. It's like an antiquated system. Like I probably have like a 4, but here I am. My odds of being successful on anything I attempt. Imagine my success on Tinder as a 13-foot male. If my math is correct, you're already 6.5 feet tall, so you should be having good success already. A second penis, just because. Where would you put it though? On his forehead. My dog's lifespan. You know, I didn't think about that one, but yeah, I'm gonna choose that one too. Amount of chips in a bag of Lay's. I mean, almost, but if you double it, you're just getting 2 chips in the bag, so it's not much more. What anime is a must-watch anime? I'm gonna say it before anybody else, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is so good. Oh my god. Mushishi, the most beautiful anime I've ever seen. Soundtrack is out of this world, too. I've only seen a few episodes, but god, it was really pretty. Akira and Ghost in the Shell. Both great choices, though Ghost in the Shell I'm a little lost on since they have a lot of different versions. If you feel like being depressed, watch Grave of the Fireflies. Still haven't seen that one because I don't want to be more sad than I already am. Studio Ghibli movies, Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, and Spirited Away. Many more great ones. Personally, my favorite is probably Kiki's Delivery Service. It's just so, I don't know, it's adorable. I'd recommend the Ghost in the Shell anime from 2005. Great story, great animation. Berserk, 1997. Still need to get to that one, but it's so hard to find it. Parasite. I did watch this one in the last year, and it is pretty solid, albeit kind of short. I just watched one episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, then I binged the entire first season in one sitting. Highly recommend. Wholeheartedly agree. Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the more interesting shonen anime. The hand-to-hand combat animation is mwah. For non-anime fans, they definitely should watch Your Name. Beautiful movie. Oh my god. And same with Weathering with You. One Punch Man. I think it's a nice entry into how goofy anime can be. The World Ends. What song would play in its end credits? Always look on the bright side of life. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine by REM. Or The End by The Doors. What a wonderful world. I see trees on fire. Molten magma too. We'll meet again. Seems appropriate if the world is ending from war. My Way by Frank Sinatra. I don't know, it wouldn't be applicable to everyone on Earth. Never gonna give you up. I'm actually okay with this one. Closing Time, obviously. Scratch that, that's actually the best choice. Highway to Hell. Stairway to Heaven. It depends on where you're going, I guess. What is the worst thing about being left-handed? Fountain pens and pencils. Fucking hate smudges. The smudging is annoying. The right-handed desks suck. But it's scissors, man. Fucking scissors. All the cute designs on mugs are only visible for right-handed people. That's why I don't even use the handle on a mug, partially because I'm stupid and because I like to show off what's on it. Measuring cup labels are on the other side when I use my left hand. When someone tries to teach you how to play guitar, line up a pool cue, shoot a bow and arrow, aim a gun, etc., and they can't because you're left-handed. My granddad was left-handed. He went to a Catholic school. This was in the 1930s/early 1940s UK, and the nuns would tie his left hand behind him and hit him until he wrote with his right hand. They said it was a sign of the devil if someone was left-handed. So cruel. I think that's just a sign of the times that people don't like other people to be different, and that's still true today, unfortunately. When you write, you have to put your whole arm on the paper because you are actively pushing it, whereas right-handed people just have to apply a little force not to pull the paper. I despise spiral notebooks and writing in binders. Also, getting my hand covered in pencil lead when writing or drawing. Thankfully, I'm not fully left-handed, just with writing and eating mostly, but most things I can use either hand. Hearing the following words, "Oh, you're left-handed?" It becomes grating after the 1000th time of hearing it, or the "Are you left-handed?" as they watch you write with your left hand. Some people just have very poor observational skills. Statistically, we are going to die 9 years earlier than our right-handed counterparts. Is that true? Was there a study done? Because that's weird. What's something that's clearly overpriced, but people still buy it? Rolex watches when buying from a non-authorized dealer. Rolex watches from authorized dealers too. Pretty much anything having to do with the wedding industry is exorbitantly expensive. I couldn't believe the prices when quoting for the venue, cake, photographer, the church, dresses and tuxedos, the rings, the fucking props, etc. Fucking absurd that people are willing to go into massive debt for a wedding. Just throw a little shindig at your house, have a fun party with your close friends, and maybe not your family. Most subscription services. Most services shouldn't really be subscriptions in the first place. Looking at you, Adobe. I miss the days when you could just buy a forever license to a product and then you just have it. Everything to do with playing golf. And people think they're so cool for playing golf. It's like, wow, yeah, you're a private club member? That's cool. How much money do you have? Starbucks. Oh my god, I just realized I haven't gone to Starbucks in like a good year and a half maybe? Probably because they did get very expensive. Apple products. Sent from my iPhone. Still the biggest scam is Apple purposefully breaking their old phones when they release a new one. Because, you know, money. Death expenses. That's precisely why when I die, just throw me in a ditch or throw me in a bonfire. It saves so much money and like saves up land space. Tickets to Disneyland, including all the hotel and food fees. Well, I hope you're ready to go in debt for 6 years because kids, we're going to Disneyland. New college textbooks. The biggest scam to that is you don't even get a brand new textbook. You get a used one, but you still have to pay like $150 for it that you'll only use for that semester. Diamonds. Oh, you mean rock poop? Cool. Which word has the best mouthfeel? Ricochet or ricochet? Rendezvous. I don't know how to spell it, but I love saying it. I don't know how to spell it. Proceeds to spell it right. Regardless, that is the stupidest way to spell that word. Colloquialism. I just swallowed my uvula trying. Fuck. Mechanical keyboard nerds be like Mike Tyson before putting on shoes.
Yeah, where my thucks at?
Fillet. Ha! Mouthfeel. Nice. Crisp. It starts in the back of your mouth and rolls to the front. Crisp. Mufasa. Mufasa. Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa. That's kind of a tongue twister, actually, so maybe not right. When you go out, you need 4 things. Keys, wallet, phone. What's the 4th item? Chapstick. Never know when you'll need it. Do be careful if it's too hot out, because you don't want that melting in your pocket. Emotional support water bottle. Headphones. +1. I can't raw dog the world. I need headphones as a barrier to the BS. Glasses. Yeah, I suppose. Sunglasses or regular. I always remember it by this handy mnemonic. Wowie. Wallet, phone, wikis, egg. Backup. Well, duh, of course you don't want to forget your egg. I always thought it was spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. That's how you remember to bless yourself / cross yourself. Up. Spectacles, down, testicles, right, wallet, and left. Watch. Pants. That is a good one. Do not forget those when you leave the house. What movie should be left alone and not remade? Schindler's List. Yeah, I think we got it down. Back to the Future. None of them. I can't even imagine somebody wanting to recreate Back to the Future. Like, you can't capture lightning in a bottle like that. Or lightning on a clock tower. The Emperor's New Groove. That would throw off the groove. Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, again, I can't think of any way to remake that to make it better. It's already good enough. The Matrix. It's perfectly set in the era it was originally wrote in. It really was a miss on the new one. Like, I thought it was fun, but it just didn't have the same feeling. Lord of the Rings trilogy. Haven't watched the show yet, so I don't care about that. Just please never try to remake the movies. If they tried to remake it, they would make everything CGI, and it would just, what's the point? What are some free online tools everyone should know of? TheNounProject.com has a ton of free icons, extremely useful for many projects. Ninite, when you set up a new computer, that one is super useful because it basically just compiles everything you would want to download, like Discord, Spotify, Google Chrome, anything that you want, you can select it out of a list, and it kind of just puts it all into an exe that'll install them all for you. If you have a library card, Libby is an app that lets you borrow ebooks and audiobooks from your library to your tablet/phone. There's a borrow queue, but very good if you don't mind the wait. Likewise, you can use the library card to stream movies on Canopy. They have an amazing selection. 10minutemail.com. It creates an email account that you can plug into websites you intend on only using once and don't want your address on spam lists. And it doesn't work anymore. Do not fear, because I use one called tempmail.org and it is so useful and it's still working. Photopea. Best Photoshop clone I've used. Used to use Pixlr back in the day, but Photopea is nearly identical. Lucidchart and Grammarly. Grammarly has a premium function, but the free version is already very helpful. Grammarly's free service is useless now and has been for several years since they gimped it. TinyWow.com helps you with a lot of image, audio, video, PDF conversions for free. Remove.bg for removing photo backgrounds. Pixlr.com for quick edits if you don't have Paint. SaveFrom.net downloading movies from YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, etc. A website I learned from Reddit actually. Find a grave. I found my grandparents' grave there, complete with a picture. They're buried in a very small cemetery in a small Scottish village/town. I was shocked to see someone had cataloged it there. Which celebrity's death were you actually sad about? Robin Williams. Jeannie, I'm going to miss you. You too, Al. That scene has a whole new meaning following his passing. As memorable as the role was, I hesitate to really relate Aladdin to Robin Williams since he really didn't like Aladdin after Disney breached contract and used his voice for advertisement. Alan Rickman. It really felt like he was coming into the age where he could have played so many crotchety old men parts so well. Steve Irwin. I still cry about this one. I love that entire family. Heath Ledger. Ugh, I just rewatched Brokeback and he was such a good actor. Sobbed like a baby. Chadwick Boseman. Truthfully gone way too soon. Betty White. It was a tragedy, but she was pretty up there, so I mean, it was kind of her time, but she was still kicking it. Leonard Nimoy. Dude was 50% of my childhood. Amy Winehouse. She was so phenomenally talented, and I think a lot of people thought she would get better. David Bowie. I'm still not over it. Mac Miller. There are so many celebrities that go before their time, and it's really upsetting. Kobe. I'll never get over how TMZ broke the story before it was even broken to his family. Prince. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Taylor Hawkins. Bob Ross. At least his legacy still lives on. What's the most common thing people lie about? How are you? I'm good. Every time it's a lie. Nobody's just good. Most people lie about their true emotions. Their height or weight. I'm 8 foot and 2 kilograms. Looks like we got a skinny queen over here. I have read the terms and conditions. There are a very select amount of people that can actually say they have read the terms and conditions, but I am not one of them. Their mental health. I do hope we break the stigma at some point because people need to talk about it. Like, you can't suffer alone. Lies to protect others' feelings. That one's a slippery slope because then you could argue that you're saying mean things as being honest when you're just being mean. Money. I think that's a weird work thing where they said don't tell people about your wages even though you should. You should discuss your wages with your fellow employees. How long will it take for them to get ready? For me, it's about 5 minutes. Sure, 30 minutes might go by, but it was still 5 minutes to get ready. What's the best advice you've ever received from your dad? Always use the right tool for the job. Sometimes the right tool is a phone book, meaning that some jobs are over your head and you need to call in an expert. Whoa. A father that admits that he can't do everything? Never heard of him. Hobbies are good, but you can't eat plastic models. Observe people. Copy the good things you see in people and learn from their mistakes. Such simple advice, but I really took it to heart. Never tell your boss you're bored. That's basically just asking them to give you work. It's called gambling, not winning for a reason. Holy It just occurred to me my dad has never given me any advice. I'm being serious. I can't think of a single thing. He once told me in a sort of compliment, "You just did whatever you were going to do." I never had a say in it. I left home at 16 though. He was pretty strict about the golden rule. I guess that's advice kinda. If you can't be good, be careful. I like that. That seems pretty useful. You can trust your friends with your life, but not your money or your wife. Well, it's a good thing I'll never have a wife. You can figure that one out. Don't have kids. Bit of a harsh thing for a dad to say to his kid, but he's not really wrong. Measure twice, cut once. Always spend 15 years looking for milk. Well, I mean, you gotta be sure you're getting the right kind of milk. Work to live. Don't live to work. It'll never not be funny to me when somebody brags about exploiting themselves for a workplace that does not care about them. What's one place you've traveled that you never want to go back to? I've been to Florida a couple times and I'm good. You can say, "Oh, but they have Disney World," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't have thousands of dollars." I've read various threads like this, and one thing I've learned is that Egypt probably isn't the best place for women. Egypt. It's dirty, dangerous, and the people are not nice at all. My teenage sister had to endure harassment from older men wherever she went. Iraq wasn't that great, but it may have been the circumstances of the visit. Oh, you were in the military, huh? How's that oil? Birmingham. You see, I'm having trouble figuring out if this is in the UK or in Alabama. Either one, probably stay away. Dubai. It seems like a really cool place, but I don't know if I have enough money to ever go there. Morocco. Not gonna explain. Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Russia. Yeah, right now seems like a bad time. San Fran was a huge disappointment last year. I used to live near there in the 80s and 90s, but now it's a total hole. Our car was broken into. I won't be going back anytime soon. Well, as a previous Bay Area resident, why would you drive in San Francisco? Texas, if I can help it. Well, all my exes live there, so no, I'm not going there. I'm just kidding. I've never been in a relationship. Paris. After 20 years, I still remember the piss and smell on the streets. 2020. Thank God time travel isn't real. Your task to ruin the Harry Potter series in the least expected way possible. You can choose any point in the series to change. What do? Harry hits the brick wall at platform 9 3/4, breaks his nose, which gets pushed into his brain, causing instant death. Well, that would be a very short book. Harry Potter is actually wizard poor and can't afford any of the required items for school. He does not get admitted and is forced to return under the stairs. Now somehow worse, as he knows of the magic world he can't be a part of. I opt to add an accurate portrayal of the abuse, drugs, and sex found in any other British boarding school in the early 90s. Go for the R rating. I don't think that would ruin it. That would be kinda cool. Harry's adoptive family loves and adores him. After a semester at Hogwarts, Harry decides that he doesn't want to become a wizard and instead embarks on a lifelong career as a mundane office worker. Harry sat in a different carriage on his first trip to Hogwarts and made friends with people who weren't Ron and Hermione. Without those two, Harry wouldn't have been able to get through the challenges to get to the Philosopher's Stone. I'd like to imagine in that world, like, his friends are just like, "No, I don't want to go to the restricted section. Are you crazy? Ugh, go to sleep." First movie, Harry falls down one of the moving staircases of Hogwarts, breaks his neck, and dies instantly. Roll credits. Yeah, that was a huge OSHA violation, I'd say. Harry and friends form a band, and every chapter sees them break out into song for one reason or another. Whoa. You're gonna say you want a Harry Potter musical? That's actually a really good idea. Somebody should do that. It was all an imagination of a boy bullied by his aunt and uncle to escape reality. At the end of the books, it fades out and he's been in a mental hospital the whole time. Encourage J.K. Rowling to keep using Twitter. Yep, that'll do it. That'll do it. Harry is not actually the chosen one and not a Horcrux. That's Neville, but nobody knows. Harry sacrifices himself for nothing. Voldemort wins. Replace Daniel Radcliffe with Danny DeVito and have most of his magic spells expose breasts accidentally. Yeah, just instead of Harry, just make it Frank Reynolds. What's the dumbest conspiracy theory that people believe? I'd have to say Flat Earth because, like, come on, y'all. Like, we're in 2022. Flat Earth. Yeah, see? Exactly. Trickle-down economics. If you're an American, you can actually trace back most of our problems to Reagan. Ohio being real. People keep talking about that place, but I haven't seen it on a map. Birds being fake. fake. Do people really think that, or is it just a joke? I don't know if people think birds are fake, but they do think birds are working for the FBI. Flat Earth or QAnon? Edit, definitely QAnon. I think QAnon was originally just a weird ARG somebody wanted to make on 4chan, but somehow old people understood it. Aliens built the pyramids. Is it so hard to believe that we forced people to build them? The Mandela effect. It's one of the dumbest things ever. People just forget parts about something that they had seen years ago and act surprised as if it had changed. I don't know. I don't think it's that dumb. I mean, because everybody loves Star Wars, but so many people get the Vader line wrong. He doesn't even say, "Luke, I am your father." Nobody said 9/11. As stupid as it may be, yeah, I kind of fall into that one. That the moon landing was faked. There could be a chance that we did fake it just so we could say we beat the Russians, but at this point in time, you should know that we've gotten there multiple times. That people are capable of maintaining a shadow government. History shows that nothing ever maintains itself. As tight-knit as secret services can be, there will always be one whistleblower that will let everybody know what's going on. The Avril Lavigne and Melissa one. On that same topic, I guess the Paul McCartney theory as well. Pizzagate. Do you honestly believe there was a whole dungeon under a Pizza Hut? There are Martians on the moon. Why the hell would there be Martians on the moon? They would be on Mars, duh. Lady Gaga has a dick. Was that a conspiracy theory? I thought that was just something people said to be mean. That we live in the year 2022. Yeah, people that subscribe to that are just so ridiculous. I mean, we've all been in a coma since 2016, so just wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. What do you have exactly 3 of? Testicles. As in balls? I have exactly $3 in my wallet. I never pay with cash, so they've been there a long time. Daughters. Sounds like we got a baby making machine over here. Whoa. Thumbs for the first 5 days of my life. I now have exactly 2. Seashells in the bathroom. Legs. This guy tripods. Okay, but are you actually talking about legs, or is it just a weird joke? Thanks to give. Ooh, you're running low there, buddy. Brain cells. Yeah, and unfortunately I share them with a majority of my friends, so it's not good. Starting tomorrow, 3 ferrets. I'm so excited. I'm excited for you. Those little guys are they're just little noodles of fun. Emotions I show to other people. I kind of feel that the only emotions I show are anger, annoyance, and sometimes happiness. Ugh, and now I'm annoyed because this video's over. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Brandon, and I will speak into your head another day. Bye-bye.